Okay, before we get to the video, I want to show you the video where the control valve is actually leaking all over the place. It was crazy, tons of water. I just so happened to hear it, and I looked over the fence, and I was like, oh man, this homeowner has a huge pond in their backyard because of this this leak that was going on. He had a really bad freeze, and they forgot to blow out the sprinklers, and of course, you know, when the water thawed out, water went everywhere. So you guys forgot to turn off the sprinkler pipe down in the basement. So Vinny the handyman to the rescue, but it's not a big job. A lot of you guys go through this. I mean, a ton. I get calls on this all the time. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys how to knock it out. It just takes a little bit of time, maybe about an hour, hour and a half, and you guys will be back and running and get your sprinklers going. All right, so let's take a look at the damage. Okay guys, so let's dissect what happened here. As you saw in the video, we had a huge leak up here. This SharkBite fitting failed. Big time. So you see that right there. So SharkBites are nice on an indoor application or somewhere where you can get to. Whenever you're working on the exterior side of the house, you want to use nothing but copper, okay? Because you have a brass to copper. Even though these are brass, the fittings are all plastic, and these can get weatherized over time. I'm not sure when this was done. This might be a year or two old, I don't know. But you don't want to use SharkBites on anything exterior. Just stick with the copper and you'll be okay. Now it looks like we have this copper line here. It's got the little bleed valve on it, which is good. So we need to reattach it from here. We're gonna put a new fitting here, and then another male fitting up here. Okay, so all this will just get replaced. And it looks like they had some type of heat tape on it at one point. I don't know if that's plugged in, so I gotta investigate that further because we got some frayed wires that are on the inside. So you don't want to have a potential fire, so be careful of that. Don't use heat tape, guys. Just blow out your sprinklers every year. Don't get lazy, because if you save this, then you know inside your control box can break as well. All your little your shut-off valves in there. So anyhow, a little rant on that, but yeah. So we're just going to pop these off and then work our way up. Okay. If you guys want to learn how to remove these SharkBite fittings, they do have a removal tool. Let me go to my box over here. Okay, so we have our 3/4. Now keep in mind this system is off. I turned it off in the crawl space, so we're good there. Obviously this would mean that it's on and on, so they never even turned it off. All right guys, really quick, I'm gonna go over some tools that you're gonna see in this job. You're gonna see this over-the-counter torch from Home Depot. Grab yourself a nice pipe wrench if you need it, and that's more for the ball valves. A lot of you guys won't be doing a lot of ball valve work. You're just replacing the pipe, and if you're just replacing your pipe that burst, it's gonna look like that. Okay, so but have this on standby just in case. You're gonna see me cleaning my copper off with some sandpaper. This is for the inside of your fittings. Little pipe cutter here. This will cut 1/2 inch and 3/4. Thread tape, thread sealer or dope. This is gonna be your solder, and this is your flex. These usually come in a kit, so you can buy a little kit at Home Depot. Grab some extra 3/4 pipe, because these are typically 3/4. Sometimes you're running to 1 inch pipe. Okay, so being that this was a little loose, I'm going to re-thread it with some pipe threader. And it's a good habit, I always like to use pipe thread as well. So just put your pipe thread on it, just for extra protection. Okay, so when you put this ball valve on, just make sure your handle's facing you. I've seen some where they're on the back side, so just put it towards. So next, we got to take this one off. This is going to get welded on to this pipe. All right, so now I got my male 3/4 copper fitting on. It's gonna sit on here just like that now, but before you do that, you wanna prep the copper. So we're gonna start using some sandpaper and get all that corrosion off and smooth it out. All right, so to achieve a good solid weld, you need to make sure that this is completely cleaned off. That way, when you solder it, the solder sticks to the copper and you don't have anything that's going to prohibit it from making a good seal. Sometimes you'll get people who just solder it like this, and it's all dirty, and there'll be a chance where the solder doesn't stick correctly or fill a gap, and then boom, you'll get a water leak. Just take the time and prep your piping so it's nice and clean. Don't use your finger, use a brush. For me, it's just easier to do that. Oh look, I found a brush. Okay, so next we're gonna throw our elbow on here so we can connect it on this side. Okay, I'm not gonna weld this one just yet. I'm gonna try to make my connections all the way up. That way I can adjust if I have to. This one's pretty stationary, so it's not that much of a problem.
Get a little closer.
Okay, so now I'm gonna cut it. My little pipe cutter here. So you just wanna put your little, so you just wanna put your blade right on that black line. All right, and then you're just gonna twist it around. And as you twist, turn this knob just a little bit to add more pressure to the pipe. Okay, so that'll be our new pipe here. make sure everything's nice and tight. All right. Okay, so one last handyman pro tip. Once you have everything nice and snug, then when you start to solder everything, you'll notice it's a little easier because now the whole pipe is warm. Okay, being that we did this one first, it was just to stabilize your backflow preventer. So now we have everything connected. Just check all your connections, you know, press them together. Sometimes they kind of work themselves loose. So we'll start from the top, and then we'll just start to solder all the way down, and we'll be good to go. So if you notice, I curl my solder. That's so you can get on the back side without burning your hands, and then just work it down. Okay, so once you double checked all your welds, just make sure this is on, this is off, and then when you come out here, the system will be charged to here, then you can turn it on and then check for leaks, okay? So other than that, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. All right, guys, and that concludes this small plumbing job that we did. Spring is on its way, the grass is gonna look green, and now you have a new sprinkler control valve that was installed properly, so you guys can go on with your day. So if this video helped you guys, please subscribe, hit that bell notification, and you'll get notified on other small home improvement jobs like this. And anyhow, stay confident, guys. You guys can do this too. I promise you, a little bit of practice, you'll gain your confidence, and you'll tackle more projects as you go. So, all right, I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.